Hello everyone, welcome back. In our previous videos, we have seen about internal table operations. Now, we will be discussing about inline declaration. So, what is inline declaration? If we observe here, everything we have declared it before using the data keyword and then we are using it whenever we need. We have declared one internal table before and then that internal table we are using it here for holding the data while writing the select query. And we have declared one structure, and that structure we are using it as a work area for reading the data from an internal table to this work area. And that same structure we are using for all the read statements, and the same structure only we are using it in the loop statement also. And at the end we are using one variable for getting the count of the records of the internal table, and that variable also we are declaring it before and then we are using it. So everywhere if we observe, we are declaring the variables or structures or internal tables using the data keyword before and then we are using it. Instead of doing that, we can directly declare that while we are in need on the spot. So here we can ignore this line or we can omit this line and directly we can declare it here. That is the concept of inline declaration. And this inline declaration will only work locally. Globally, it won't work. If you don't know the difference between local and global, I have clearly explained in my previous videos. I will give that video also in the I button. Please do watch that video. So, for that, I will create one program and let us see how to do the inline declaration for various internal tables, structures, and variables. So for that, I have already created a report program which is gprz underscore inline dec. I will copy this select query and I'm pasting it over here. If you observe here, I'm not doing any declaration for an internal table here. If I activate it, definitely we will be getting the error that it is not declared. LTVBAK is unknown. That is the error, that's why it is giving the error for sort statements also. Now, what I have to do is for declaring it on the spot, simply you have to add the keyword data and you have to open the parenthesis and end it. Those inside those parentheses your internal table will be there. Now let me try to activate it. This is activated but we are getting some warning. LTVBAK is a table with an empty primary key. Check the semantics of the statements. That's fine, warnings we can ignore. So for the internal table we have done the inline declaration. For read table also we can do the inline declaration, and for loop also we can do the inline declaration using the data keyword. How means, I will just copy this code and will show you. The same code I will use for understanding because you have watched the previous video, so it will be easy for you to understand the coding also, and you can learn the concept of inline declaration better. Now I will just keep data, and here I will place it the parenthesis surrounded by the work area. Here I am not giving that at the rate. Why? Because while writing the select query, we are saying that this internal table belongs to the application layer, and all these things will be from the database. That's why we will be giving this at the rate of symbol for differentiating between database and application. But here it is purely related to the application layer, so we don't need to give anything in specific at the rate of. Now I have declared this lsvbak. If I activate it now, it will be activated without any errors. But here I am using the same work area. If I want to use the same work area, you should not keep this data keyword, because it will make the system understand that you are declaring this work area again. Let us try that way also. Data I am keeping, and here I am keeping it is lsvbak. Now you will get the error. lsvbak was already declared line 31. So you are getting the error that unless VBAK you have declared it somewhere, and again you are trying to declare it. That's why it is giving the error. If I keep some other name for this one, then it won't give the error, because the name we are declaring it here is different and here it is different. Now let us try to activate it. Now we are not getting any error. So if you want to use any work area again and again, you don't need to include this data keyword. But if you want some other name to be, or some other work area has to be used, then you have to declare that using this data keyword, and then you can use it. Let us see now for the loop statement. Now, this LSVBAK, obviously it won't give error, because we are using this work area before, so it won't give any error. Let us try activating it. We are getting some other error. The collect command can only be used in a table if all of its non-key fields are numeric. Okay, so here in LSVBAK, since we have used the inline declaration, we don't have any key non-numeric key fields. It should have basically numeric key fields, that means amount, quantity and all. Since we don't have anything, it is giving the error. We can comment it out. Now let us try to activate this one. Now it got activated. Since we are using this lsvbak before, it is not giving error. If you want to use some other thing, you can just put data. I will just control D, and here I will comment it out, and I will mention data lsvbak underscore loop. Maybe you can write some other name also. Likewise you have to write. I'm commenting it down. So in the loop also you can declare your work area on the spot. Now let us see how you can declare for variables. I will copy these things. Here we don't need this data LV count. If you comment it, if you keep it like this, and here I am trying to declare it using the inline declaration. Now you will be getting the errors because you have already declared it using the data declaration statements. LV count was already declared. So that means you have already declared, but the same thing you are trying to declare it again using the inline declaration. So you have to comment it out. Now it is activated. So if you observe, lot of code has reduced. Here before it was two lines, now it is only one line. And here also types you have to declare, and data, and you have to declare your internal table and work area. All those code has been reduced, and it is looking very prettier, and very lot of code has been reduced. A lot of code has been reduced because of this declaration. Here if you consider the number of lines, it is 60 only, but here it is around 90 lines. So almost 30 lines of code has been reduced because of this data declaration. So this is the usage of inline data declaration, and you can use it only locally. Globally it won't work. This is the one thing you have to keep in mind while working with inline declaration. Hope this video is useful to you. Please do like, share and subscribe to this channel for more useful content.